Welcome to Nostalgia TV. I'm Excel.
It's your girl Vicky Secrets.
And we here back. Season 2.
Yeah, season 2.
Episode 16. Let me get my numbers right.
I don't know if we can actually say season 2, episode 16, because technically
season 2. This is the second year.
I know it's technically the second.
Yeah, we got technical difficulties. So good. We're trying to stay in touch with the fans.
Yeah, but so technically it's season 2, but episode 2.
Episode 2,
but this is 16
altogether. So we want to start over from season 2 to episode 2.
Yeah,
all right, so episode 2, season 2. There we go. And of course, we definitely bringing you guys some heat.
Yes, we have a very good interview for y'all today.
Yeah, we have somebody real special, man. When we doing this for the culture, for R&B, it's only right we do it for one of the greatest genres of music that's ever been created, man. Word. And this brother, he is well decorated in the field of R&B music. He's been in the lab with some of the greatest names in the genre, you know, from the Ty Dolla Signs, the Weekends, the Trey Songz, the Trevor Jacksons, and Bryson Tillers, and we could go on and on.
Yes, sir.
This man, and he's from the Virginia area. From the area, this is your own right here, man. We got Mike Angel.
Angel
what's
in the building.
What's happening, man? How y'all doing?
Nostalgia TV. We had to dig it. We had to go out there and hunt you down, bro. We had to go find you. We went to the boondocks.
Yo, thank you for that intro. That intro was like amazing, bro.
Well deserved, brother.
Yeah. So we got Mike Angel in the building.
Yes, we do.
Not only do we have him here, but he will be performing live tomorrow.
Boss Queen Cafe.
Right. Sunday for Nostalgia Rocks. He is our headliner for, this. What is this? Our fifth one?
Fourth.
Yeah. We do it every couple of months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Give y'all a little bit. Go away.
And, shout outs to the sponsors. Let's make that clear. Vaquila's in the building.
Vakila in the building.
And make sure you guys subscribe, and subscribe and share. To everybody out there, because this interview is going to be one of those interviews that you might want to pay attention to. This is a career-changing interview for everyone watching. Jewels will be shared. You know what I'm saying? Information will be put on the table for you guys to consume and really take that and run with it. Because this man, he's been there, done that. He's done it all, man.
Yeah, I think this would be a great interview for the artists as well.
Right.
Because we're actually talking to somebody that actually has been to the heights of where most independent artists want to go.
They dream about it.
Exactly. You know,
motherfuckers, they spent their whole career chasing what you accomplished in less than a year.
Right.
And we're gonna get to that. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Angel in the building.
Yo, thank you y'all for having me, man. Appreciate the Vakila. You know what I'm saying?
You already know. We got the watermelon flavor. It's heavy in the streets right now.
Okay, I feel like we stalling at this point. Okay, so let's get to this interview.
Let's go.
So, Mike, first, the biggest question I feel like we keep running across is, who is Mike Angel? Wow. Like, I think we've been asked this a million times.
Right.
People are like, okay, you guys are promoting this dude, Mike Angel. You guys are talking about him, giving him, this heavy promo, good things. Like, who is Mike Angel, though? Like, no, people don't seem to know, which was crazy to us because you're from Virginia. Yeah. Not from the 757, though. More in the 804.
804. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Still VA. So give us just a little small clip of, who is Mike Angel? Just a little bit.
I mean, like you said, I'm from Virginia, 804, Richmond, Virginia. I grew up in, I went to school in Chesterfield, Virginia. So, when I grew up, got older, I was running around the city in Richmond or whatever. But I'm a songwriter, singer, I'm a dad now. You feel me?
Congratulations on that.
Congratulations,
yeah. Appreciate that.
Salute. Cheers. Now that's
Cheers.
an accomplishment, man.
Salute
to that, bro. Salute.
And it's also about to make life hard as a bitch.
Hey.
Life is about to be a struggle.
I'm loving it so far.
It's about to get real. But go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I've toured. Like I said, I've done tours. Singer, songwriter, wrote a bunch of songs for people like Trevor Jackson, Trey Songz, Bryson Tiller. In 2017, I went on tour with Trey. And,
okay, wait. We're going to stop you right there because we ain't going to let you just give them all that.
Okay.
So we're going to take it back just a little bit because we really want people to know who you are.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you kind of started off that you grew up in Chesterfield.
Yeah.
You started going around to Richmond. Where did you go to high school at?
I went to high school at Clover Hill.
Clover Hill.
So
okay.
That's in Chesterfield.
That's in Chesterfield. Yeah. Okay. And so from there, were you into music? What, when did you start realizing that you had a talent?
Well, in high school, for sure. Like, I was in all the choirs, like like show choir, boys choir, boy and girl choir. Like, I was in all of that. Like, every singing little class you could be in, I was in. But I learned a lot, like, doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned a lot of techniques and stuff that, like, I guess just being a raw singer, you can't learn things that you actually have to, techniques you have to implement into your stage performance and stuff like that. And I took that, I guess, with me throughout my whole career. So,
that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you realized that you had the skill of a musician, right? You were an actual vocalist, right? And what was your awakening moment when you said, you know what, I think I could take this music thing serious?
It was probably like when I started like recording on my own, and like I got my first mic when I was like 16. So I started like recording at the crib and like hearing my voice back for the first time and being like, damn, I actually sound better than, you know what I'm saying? So-and-so, whoever's on the radio. So like, I guess like the turning point was like getting my own equipment and like, experimenting at the crib and realizing that I could actually like put a song together. So, yeah.
So who's your influences growing up? Musical influences?
Well, of course, Michael Jackson. Everybody say that.
Okay.
Stevie Wonder. Frank Ocean. Just because I like his story, like, I guess, independence-wise. Who else? Mario. Most of the R&B cats, like, I look up to. So, yeah.
And from my research, right, based on the conversations we had, you were part of a group called Encore. Talk to me about that group. What was that about?
So we were like 4-man group.
So when did that take place? Like, how long after you decide, like, you got your equipment, you start recording, when did you form this group?
In high school.
In high school?
Yeah, we formed a group. So, like, we would go around different classes singing to girls. Like, we barely was in class because we was always, like, out either doing a show or... like, our teachers would let us, like, go, perform in different cities and stuff like that with the show choir, of course. Mm-hmm. They would take us out of school. So, like, my 12th grade year, I really didn't even go to class. I was always singing.
Dope.
But I started the group, we started the group, should I say, in high school. And from there, we sung at graduation. And we got noticed by somebody that actually worked at Universal. Mm-hmm. And they was interested in us, but we didn't have a demo out at that time. We just had, footage of us singing around school and stuff like that. But when it got down to it, they just needed us to record like a 5-song EP. Mm-hmm. And one of my friends ended up getting a tumor in his throat. So we couldn't even complete the EP. But what happened was basically I kind of finished off the EP, and then another friend as well. And then my other guy was in Hampton College right at the time, so he couldn't really come down to Richmond, Virginia, and complete the EP. So me and one of my other guys completed it. And at the end of the, I guess the end of that summer, we kind of broke up as a group because it just didn't work out. Like,
Wow.
Before that, going back to the label. So when the label discovered you guys, right? Mm-hmm. It was a group of 4.
Yeah.
Correct? The label discovered you. What was that process like? Did they contact you? Did they call you guys? Did they fly you to New York to go to the actual label? Like, what happened?
Well, one of my friends...
How did you know you were signed?
Well, we wasn't technically signed. We just had, like, Universal was just interested in the group. Mm. But my friend's godmother or something like that, she was really close with somebody that worked at Universal. So she was actually the one that got us, like, I guess that noticed us first. And then, like, somebody from the label came to her house later on and was like, yo, I want to sign those kids that, you were talking about. And we pulled up, we sung for them, and we blew them away or whatever. But it was just like, I guess it was like we weren't ready, you know what I'm saying, for the opportunity. It kind of came super fast. And I learned a lot from that situation, too. Just, like, I guess, like, a group is cool, but, betting on yourself is better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Too, depending on like all the members, because it has to move cohesively in order for the group to.
And what year was this? Around what time?
This was like 2012ish.
So we still had the B2K effect. We still had these guys running like the Peter Rickies.
At that time, it was mindless behavior.
Mindless behavior.
Oh yeah, that was.
So there was groups out there. So they were trying to see if you guys could fit into the element.
Definitely.
That's what it was. Okay.
So once that's
day 26.
Day 26 was out.
Day 26.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up. I fucked with day 26.
No, we looked up to day 26 as a group. Like we really we used to watch the show and kind of implement some of the stuff that they was learning into our group. So
right. So once you got so pretty much the deal fell through.
Yeah.
It fell through. So once that fell through, then what came next after that? Because I mean, you know, I've heard plenty of stories where like, you know what I mean, people get to the label, they get ready to sign, and then boom, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what was your mindset after, you know, the deal fell through?
Well, we actually got to a point where we sung for like I guess one of the heads of the label. His name was Nigel. Mm-hmm. And we went to like DC and sung and danced for him. He was blown away by the whole thing, like I said, but with us not being able to complete an EP, it was kind of hard for them to really take us serious because we didn't have like no material and no videos or anything like that. So after that, that's when I kind of ended up buying my own equipment. Like that's when I was like, you know, 16, 17 age. Everybody was going to college, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted to do music, but I didn't know at what aspect and know what, like, you know, capacity I wanted to do it in. So I ended up getting my own equipment and just started writing songs. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to write songs, like my own songs from scratch. Like,
so you taught yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that time, obviously, you didn't have no manager because I haven't heard you say or mention that you had a manager. So how important?
We didn't have a manager, but we had people that were like, I guess you could say, would take us to the meeting. If we wanted to go to that Universal meeting, we had people that, you know, could take us there. So those were the people that were, I guess, looking over the group and making sure that everything was moving smoothly, but they weren't really technically managers. So,
okay. Yeah. Okay, so you buy your own equipment, you start learning how to write, and where do you go from there? Well,
I mean, it sounds like pretty fast, but like it was a long process, like a bunch of summers where I was just sitting in the crib.
Like how many years? Because I want to give people a real look into this process, because unlike most artists that we speak to, like you literally have went through the process and you've actually gained success, the fame, the notoriety. So once you started writing, like how many summers in of you dedicating yourself to this before you started to see anybody like noticing like, hey, Mike is dope?
Man, I mean, it was like, I would say like 4 or 5 summers where I was just in the crib, like shooting my music to different blog sites and different, I guess, A&Rs that I thought were A&Rs at the time. Like, just sending my music,
people
over
just
to them.
With Def Jam t-shirts on. Like,
exactly.
I'm an A&R.
I guess he's an A&R. I just sent it to him.
There was plenty of that in Virginia.
He got Sony Music at the end of his Gmail. So, but, yeah, like, I would say like 4 or 5 summers where like it was just nothing. It was just quiet. And like
so were you like doing shows? Like what else was in?
No, I was in college. I was at Virginia State.
Okay, so you ended up actually did going to college.
Yeah, I ended up going.
So you were in school, and in the meantime, in your free time, you were in your dorm writing.
Yeah, because all of my friends, like I said, went to Hampton. Like, the guys that were in the group, 2 of the guys that were in the group, they ended up going to Hampton. One of them stayed. The other one, which had the tumor in his throat, he stayed in Virginia. So me and him got really close, and you know. And whatnot,
so you guys ended up going to Virginia State.
Yeah, well, he didn't go to Virginia State, but you know, I went to Virginia State, but we definitely stayed close, man. Still stayed tight or whatever. And in that process, I was not really doing shows, but I would do like, you know, small things like socials. Like we would have social events at Virginia State where they might needed somebody to sing or talent show, and I might do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they had a.
Was there a reason for that? Like that you were just keeping it doing small things? Were you like, did you have stage fright? What was your reasoning?
I had definitely had stage fright, but what I did to try to overcome that was I did YouTube, a lot of YouTube videos. So I kind of got known on campus for doing YouTube videos. Or like, you know, it was another homie that was really dominating YouTube. His name's T-So. He's from 804. No, wait, is he from 804? He's from Virginia. I know that. But me and him would do videos together. He put me on game, like, you know, as far as like different shows that would be around campus and stuff. So I kind of got like a small name for myself in that aspect. And then once I joined the Virginia State Choir, that's kind of when I got more like connections, and, you know, I networked with a lot of more people that could sing and do the same thing I did. So.
I mean, the Virginia State Choir is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
So how did you even get in that door?
I had to audition. Yeah, it was like
Who invited you to the audition? How did you find out about the audition?
Through my guy, my boy T-So. Like I said, he was already in there, like dominating, taking all the solos and whatnot. So he kind of mentioned that to me, like, yo, why don't you join the choir? And at first I was really like skeptical about it, because, you know, I just didn't like there was certain people in there that I wasn't really, you know, fond of. But I just looked past that, and I was with them for like maybe 6 months, maybe.
And for those who don't know about the Virginia State Choir, how competitive and how difficult it is to be a part of that? It's
pretty hard. Like, they put you through, you know, a couple rounds of auditions, and then you gotta practice. Like, practicing is like every day. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like being on a football team. It's like they might have you in practice from 8 to 12, and then you gotta go to class at 9 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a grind. Yeah.
Okay. So you joined the choir, and so where does that lead you to? You said you were with them for 6 months.
Yeah, like I kind of like left Virginia State. Like,
so what you mean, just dropped out?
In a sense, yeah, because I was like recording. I was recording in my room, and, you know, like I said, doing YouTube videos in my room, and I just felt like what I was doing wasn't gonna lead me to where I wanted to be. So I was just like, man, Virginia State might not be for me, bro, you know? And I just kind of dropped out. And from there, I started working at Amazon.
So you dropped out of Virginia State and went to work at Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what? So how did that make sense to you? And I'm only asking because I know that people are like, you're going to Virginia State, you're going to college, you're going to get a degree, something
and
lifelong.
You're performing with the
and
Virginia
State
Choir.
Exactly, you're in the choir. Why would you drop out to go work at Amazon?
Because I had a criminal justice degree, first off. I was going for criminal justice. That was not in the field that, you know, I wanted to be in. I just was doing something just because I felt like I needed to be getting some type of degree. You feel me? So
it wasn't a passion. It wasn't something you wanted to do. You just were doing it.
It wasn't a passion. I was dropping out of classes. Like, I was kind of embarrassing my mother in a way. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me get out of college, bro. I don't think this is where I want to be at and where I need to be to get me to where I want to go, which is, you know, being a songwriter. And so
you go get you a job.
Yeah. So I went to go get me a job, and I just wrote songs all day. Like,
so what you do with them? Like, did you? I remember saying, like, so you started writing songs. Were you like sending them out? Like, what were you doing?
Nah. So I would go to like this studio out in Virginia. It's called Yellow House. I would go there. I would go to different studios, various studios, different people I would link up with, write songs with. But most of the time I would write them in my crib or at my home. I mean, you know, in my little room with I had an Xbox mic at the time, and then I upgraded to, you know, an M audio mic. And it was an old computer, my sister's old computer from college that she let me borrow. I was doing all my beats and writing all my songs on that same computer. And
would you say that you are introvert? Because you seem like you're like your whole like you went to college, you ain't saying nothing about partying, having a time. You just like kind of.
Were you having a time of your life in college?
Nah, like
Virginia State.
I'm telling you, I can tell because it's kind of just like I'm just doing.
College was like the worst time of my life. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
What was it? Because you were around so many different people, you didn't feel like you fit in. Like, what was it? You was just broke.
That'll make it suck.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
I mean, I think all college students are broke, but they still find time to party.
Yeah, I've seen some broke niggas turn up.
Right.
No, I mean, I would party for sure. Yeah, I would party, but not as often as like my roomies. You know.
Right.
But would you consider yourself an introvert or not? Is that part of your attitude? Is that your thing? Or no?
I don't know. I mean, what is introvert?
Absolutely.
Really?
Introvert is like somebody that would rather be by their goddamn self. Like you do things dolo. You're not very outgoing. You're like kind of to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say that, and then like
because it's like
really
everything you're
up
telling me,
unless
you're like, I'm in my room. I'm in my room. Like, bro, what the fuck? Get out that room. What are you doing?
Right. What's crazy
Get out
is
the room.
like I built a decent fan base like on campus from staying in my room and like doing those YouTube videos. Whether if I would have been out in the parties and trying to be a frat boy and whatever. Guess you living a regular college life, maybe none of that would have happened. Like,
so you were really committed to actually developing yourself as an artist, even though you was going to college for criminal justice. Sure. That wasn't your thing, but you still wanted to make sure that you develop as an artist. Is that the ultimate goal for you at the time? Is to become an artist?
And everybody around me could see that too. They was like, "Damn, you got something special. Like, don't let go of that." So like, I got a million hood niggas around me telling me that. I'm like, shit, I must really got some shit. Like,
right.
They telling me I can sing. Like, I'm killing it. Like, so I just took it serious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you continue to write, and then you pretty much said that. So you stuck with the whole YouTube thing, continuing to put stuff out on YouTube, and so let's get to the point where you act. Where does the notoriety come in? Okay, how do we get to Trey?
Basically, one of the videos on YouTube blew up. Like,
okay, so you kind of went viral.
It got like, I want to say like 100,000 views. That was a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, back then. Hell yeah.
That was a big deal.
So you went viral a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. Mm-hmm. And I was singing one of Trey songs too. It was Love Faces or something like that.
Oh, that's my shit. Okay. It is. I love that song.
So with that being said, I kind of like, before I met Trey and like, I guess the label and all that, I deleted all those videos because I didn't want them to, I guess, I don't know, I guess I didn't want to have like a bunch of material already out. Like I kind of wanted to come out as a fresh artist. I know that probably wasn't a great idea, but I did.
Hell to the hell no, it was not. I'm trying to figure out why did you do that?
Yeah. It's because he didn't have no management.
Yeah,
like if you had the right team behind you.
But what's crazy is like when I met the label, they were like, yo, like we love the fact that there's nothing of like no videos of you online. Like it's just like a fresh.
So you had a mystique.
Yeah. They loved that about
that shit.
Me.
You've been around that mystique shit.
So.
Okay, so one of your videos went viral, and from there, what happens after the video goes viral?
Nothing really. I mean, I just keep making songs and keep.
He's like nothing.
I mean, it went viral, but it didn't really like change.
So how did you? So eventually, because I mean, eventually you had to run into. So was Moo your manager before or after Trey Songz?
No, so let me tell you how.
Okay,
you mean tell you how I met Moo?
Yes.
Oh, please, brother, this is the moment. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was in a studio back home in Richmond called In Your Ear.
Okay.
And at that studio, Chris Brown actually recorded Deuces.
Oh, dope.
That whole tape he recorded there. Well, most of the tape he recorded there. But anyway, so I was at the studio In Your Ear. I just got off work. My friend told me to pull up because he was like, yo, Trey's here. Like, Trey Songz here. I'm like, for real? Like, what the fuck? Like, why is he here? So I pull up to the joint, and my boy is the one that they're interested in. He's a producer. So, like, they're really interested in him because they've already heard his beats. They've already been keeping their eye on him and tracking his progress or whatever on Instagram. So I was really just there, like, to be, like, support for him. You feel me? Like, but I was quiet the whole time I was there. No, I wasn't really talking, saying much. And at the end of the session, he was like, yo, why is that dude so quiet, bro? Like, he must have some shit, like, because everybody was playing music around in the room. Like, it was probably 7-8 people in there, everybody playing music. I was the only one that wasn't playing that. But I told him I did music. You feel me? So he was like, play some shit. So I played him like 2 songs. One of them was Boss, which is on his mixtape. And then the other one was Chill, which is on
So you actually played those for Moo?
No, I played them for Trey.
Oh, so Trey was there that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
because I think I seen you talk about this on an interview. So this was the situation where you played them for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played them for him, and he didn't really have a reaction. Like, it was kind of like I didn't play them.
Niggas looking like
right. So you could probably guess that I felt like,
he didn't like it.
Yeah, he didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I left like the next. Well, I left, and like the next day I didn't.
Did it mess with your confidence a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
but I wasn't even expecting for it. It's Trey Songz, so I wasn't expecting to like get signed off of it or.
Right.
I was just like, this would be cool if I could play a song for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I played a song, and I want to say like maybe like a week later, Moo hits me up and he's like, "Yo, those songs that you played for me and bro, like, what you doing with those?" And I'm like, I mean, they just sitting on my hard drive, bro. Like, what's up? And he's like, "Yo, send them over to me." So I sent him both of the songs, and then like maybe a month later, I hear back from them, and I think it was Trey sent me, which one was it, Boss or something like that, early. They sent me one of the songs early, and I ended up hearing it when I was at work. I took off, went crazy. I was like, damn.
Was it on the radio? Or?
No, he just sent it to me. He just emailed it to me.
Yeah, and it was just dope just to probably hear his voice on your shit, right? Mm-hmm.
So, like, I was excited, like, yo, what the world? Like, that's crazy. He really recorded to one of my songs. And then the following, I want to say, like, month, like, the next couple months, a bunch of stuff started happening where they would, like, invite me to, like, out to one of his shows, give me a hotel.
And stay right there. So you go to one of his shows. That's your first time actually traveling. And what city was this at?
Here.
It was in VA at the Norva. The show was at the Norva or Hampton.
It wasn't even a show. I want to say it was like a walkthrough with him and Pusha T or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was like a walkthrough.
So you are. So you come to Virginia and you are now.
But you're already in Virginia, right?
I was in Richmond.
Richmond, right? So
you coming down to Norfolk?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came to Norfolk.
Mm-hmm. And you go.
Like at that time, like I said, like they were still interested in my friend, like, because he's a producer and stuff or whatever, and that's basically what he needed was beats. So I was, like I said, I was there to support him, but they started inviting him and me out. You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, damn, they must be fucking with me too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and so he invited me to, like I said, shows, his birthday, like all of these events where I'm like getting a chance to talk to them and like show them who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I guess like Moo may have taken a liking to me, one because of my music, and then me and him really actually like hung out, built a real relationship. So because me and Moo was so close, I guess Trey like felt like it was destiny, I guess, for me to be his next artist or be his protege or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But when I came in, I kind of was like thinking like I was just gonna be a songwriter. Like that was like my mindset. Like, okay, I'm gonna just write songs for bruh, and then whatever happens from there, I'm gonna try to take it and run with it, like of my own shit. But I didn't know that they wanted me as an artist too. Like they wanted me as an artist and a songwriter.
So was he building an actual label, or he was gonna connect you with a label and manage you? Like, what was his intention?
See, I didn't know what
was the conversation about between you and Trey?
I had really no idea what it was until like I was already signed. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know what the.
Were you signed to Trey's label, or you was signed to another label under Trey's management?
It was Trey's label, but it was under like 300.
Gotcha.
So it was like Atlantic, 300, and the label. Yeah. So, like I said, bro, I came in with the mindset of just being only a songwriter. Like I didn't really. I mean, I was, of course, stoked to be an artist, but I didn't. That wasn't like my end all be all. So it got to a point where we was writing songs, linking up, going to Vegas, doing this and doing that. And then one day he put me to the side and he was like, bro, I want you to go on tour with me. Like, you should come on tour. And I had like...
And before that day came and you was writing all these songs, did you actually write records that he put on his album? Did he actually use some of the records that he wrote?
He used them on, what was it?
Do you mind mentioning what songs you wrote?
Yeah. So To Whom It May Concern
What album was that? That was the Anticipation?
That was like a mixtape.
Mixtape, that was the Anticipation?
No. So that was just another mixtape that Trey put out, but he actually, instead of putting it on like that Piff, he actually put it on like real platforms like Spotify. And that was like one of his first mixtapes I think he really put on platforms that I wrote on. But I did like, honestly, bro, I was there for like the whole process. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may not have gotten credit for some of the songs, but like, I was there for basically that whole mixtape, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Which mixtape is this?
To Whom It May Concern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you was there for the whole entire process of that.
Yeah, and I wrote like the first real song that like I wrote like by myself in front of him was Never Enough. Yeah, so I mean I'm kind of skipping stuff, but
yeah. So what are we skipping? Because I feel like you're skipping. I was just about to ask you, like, you just jumping on.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm sorry. I'm kind of.
It's okay.
You got a great story, bro. But we definitely want you to tap in and fill in those gaps. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah. So
let's go back.
So we're gonna just take it back a little bit because so pretty much Trey's inviting you out. You and your friend, that's a producer. You guys are going to parties now. You guys are linking up. It's looking like he fucking with y'all. You know what I mean? You and Moo are building.
Working at this time too.
Right, and you're still so you still have a job. Yeah. You're still working. So then you and Moo are building a relationship, and then
hold up. So you working at Amazon, and you traveling with Trey Songz. Yeah. What the fuck does that do to your ego during that process? Because you out here
put it together like that. Like I wasn't really like, oh, I shouldn't be working because I'm with this nigga. Like that's crazy. I never felt like that.
It's interesting.
But like I think I took a picture with him one time and I posted it to Facebook, and then everybody at Amazon saw it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, like what you doing here? Like, so I mean, I've had people, of course, say that to me, like, you know, why you still at Amazon?
Because at this point, like, even just doing that, it's not making you any money, though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm spending money going to chase him, like,
right.
But I mean, someone of you, I'm assuming you were a lot younger at the time, so someone of your age at the time, just having that opportunity to be in the ins and outs, rubbing elbows with all these,
it made it worth it to some extent, right?
Because I always told myself, like, if I'm not doing something by 25, like with music, I just stop completely.
Right.
And that happened when I was like 23. So
okay.
So you experiencing all of this at the age of 23, at the tender age of 23.
Yeah.
So you just said that. You just said something so funny because I feel like a lot of people do this and people don't know.
What?
So you just like you were spending money chasing Trey, and it's just like no bullshit. I'm just saying at the age of 23, like I feel like that's. It's understandable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody says, hey, yo, come party with me, we all good. Nigga, I'm going to spend, you know what I mean? You're going to spend your money. You don't have no kids. We got no responsibility. Fuck it. I'll take my whole check and blow it. You know what I mean?
Still, like, definitely got responsibilities as a grown man.
Like, right. I'm just saying. But,
rent and shit.
But right.
Just for the record, when niggas is like.
So, were you ever late on the rent, chasing Trey?
Of course.
But
he said, of course. Oh, my God.
But just for the record, when people, because a lot of artists, up and coming artists think like, yo, if I can just get invited to a party, they don't realize that it's actually.
Not that simple, right?
It's not. So what is it that you want to share with these artists that have this perception that they think that, oh, yo, I just want to be in the in crowd with these people?
Right.
I feel like now more than ever you could do it on your own. Like you don't really need like a cosign or somebody beside you telling you, you know, what to do. It's really no formula with it no more. Like I be seeing people blowing up off TikTok, like, and they ain't never went to no celebrity parties. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's really like instead of just trying to shoot to the top, like building a real fan base and like a community of people that really like rock with you and your music versus like trying to just shoot
cling
to the top
on to a celebrity and chasing them around town, right?
Because it's like the faster you get there, it's like the faster you're gonna drop down. But if you go in there like gradually, like each year you keep getting better and better and better, you're eventually.
But you know, but to that, it's easy for you to say that now and on hindsight because obviously you actually, you know, you went up there, right? You made it to the top. And now you're in a position where you can look back and say, oh, wow, you know. But for someone that's never been at the top, like, they still want that access.
Yeah.
You know, so during the process of that access, what did you see that made you change your perception of the industry when you was going through these parties and being in the in crowd and doing?
Yeah, was it what you expected?
Was
you know what I mean? Like, what was it?
I would say it wasn't really exactly what I expected, but like,
what did you expect?
I guess like, I thought like if I could get to like a certain point, I would feel better about myself, or I would be happy if I could just get next to so and so, or be on this stage, or do this, or get this accolade. But it really ain't that, like,
because you was next to The Weeknd, you was next to Drake,
I've seen you meet, you've met a lot of people.
Yeah.
So what happened? Like,
I mean, nothing happened. Like, it was cool. It was a great experience, like meeting those people. But those people are those people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it didn't do anything for you per se career.
It's not gonna do anything for you.
So so say that to these artists that are out here thinking, if I could just be in the studio with such and such,
it's not gonna really change much. You know what I'm saying? You still, even when you do make it, or you feel like you made it, you still have to put the work in. Like, it's still a whole another 5 years of work you got to put in, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get to The Weeknd, or to get to Chris Brown, or whatever.
So pretty much you're going to these parties, you know what I mean? You're chasing, spinning up, doing whatever. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm sure you're having fun doing it. You know what I mean? You're around celebrities. And so then you said that pretty much they came to you like they want you to be an artist.
Yeah. Well, I remember.
So did they want you to be a songwriter first and then the artist later, or how was that?
Well,
worked out?
I remember specifically we were writing Anticipation 3. Well, I didn't know it was Anticipation 3. Mm-hmm. He was writing songs at the time, and like I said, I was going to his residency, his shows. Every show he was having, I was pulling up to.
And at this time, are they paying for you to pull up, or you still coming out your pocket?
Yeah, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're paying for me to get there, but I mean, if the show's in DC, they're not going to give me like a ticket. They expect for me to drive up there, or, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was a turning point though. Like, once we put the Anticipation 3 out, he had hit me up and was just like, yo. Well, once we actually wrote it, I don't think we had dropped it yet. He was like, yo, I want you to be an artist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you should really be an artist instead of a writer. Like, you could do both, like, this and that. And like I said, I've always wanted to be an artist, but I always wanted to come out, like, in my own terms. Like, you know what I'm saying? Versus, like, I guess being pushed out, like, from someone else. Because, like, when you come in the door with, like, somebody like Trey Songz, like, he's a big name. Like, then if you're not with Trey Songz, let's just say 2-3 months down the line, they're like, yo, where's Trey at? Like, like, why aren't you with this person? Like, why aren't you with that person? You know? So, I don't know. I mean,
so do you feel like you were kind of pushed into making that decision? It wasn't exactly what you really wanted?
Like I said, I wanted it, but just not at that time. Like, I didn't think I was ready for it, like, at that time.
Right.
But if Trey Songz personally came to you, right, and say, yo, I think you should be an artist, so shouldn't that validate the fact that maybe you should, even though you feel like you're not ready, maybe shouldn't that moment be like, yo, you know what, damn, this is Trey Songz, and he's at his peak of his career at this point, right? This is Trigger, right? Well, the album Trigger was fire. After that, it was Tremaine and all this other shit he did. So it's like, this is peak Trey Songz telling you should be an artist, and you approached it as, what was your reaction when he said that?
I mean, I was definitely excited about it, but like I said, like, I didn't know what the intentions were behind it because it was so abrupt and just kind of out of nowhere. I don't know. Like, I would say, like, I wanted it. Like I said, I wanted to be an artist, but I guess I didn't have the music that I thought could to take me to where I wanted to be at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which I think is crazy because you're writing shit for his album, so why not?
Because I was writing shit for him. Like,
it wasn't yours.
It wasn't like I was writing it for me. You know what I'm saying?
So you was more comfortable being a songwriter than an actual performer.
Yeah, because I hadn't really been in the spotlight like that. Like, and plus I'm still working at Amazon too. Like, while all of this is going on, so by by day I'd be at Amazon, and at night I'd be in the studio with Trey and all these other people. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of a mind fuck too.
It is a mind fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right. So you did it feel like it was a little bit of pressure to go ahead and say, yeah, like let's just go ahead and do it?
Definitely. Most definitely.
Right. And then you're going to Amazon. It's like, yo, then I can say fuck this job.
Yeah. And so then there would be days I would be at Amazon. I'd be like, fuck, I don't want to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that too was another thing that was like, damn.
I'm just glad you're explaining this, because a lot of people be like, why would you sign that deal? Why would you do this? You know this person. It's just like, you got to think about the position that people are in. You know what I'm saying? At the time. Especially when you might feel like this might never come again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then plus the promise that I made to myself. Like I said, I was 23. So I had 2 more years.
To try to get
try to get something together. And
okay.
I was just like,
so,
man, this
so you
might
signed
be
the
my
deal.
time.
Let's just safe to say you signed it.
You signed as an artist, right? Or just a songwriter?
Signed as an artist.
Artist, songwriter.
And a songwriter. Yeah.
And a songwriter.
All right, so Anticipation 3 drops.
Yeah.
Right? That project, Trey, sonically, from my, I love music, bro. So I've listened to Trey before Anticipation and after Anticipation. There's a big difference on his pitch, big difference on and a lot of ways that he approached music after that project. Mm-hmm. And now when I started getting familiar with your sound, I'm like, yo,
it's
they
very
sound just
similar.
alike.
Yeah.
So there's a pre Mike Angel Trey Songz, and then there's a after Mike Angel. Yeah. Explain that, bro, because it's like, am I bugging, or is do you feel like?
Well, yeah, because like I was sending him some music like every day. Like once I saw that it was fucking with me, like to a certain degree, I would be like, all right, well, I'm gonna just flood them with music. Like fuck it, like every day I just send this nigga some shit. So I'm sure they was playing my shit, hearing it, you know what I'm saying? But it's all love, because I mean I got certain things from him, you know what I'm saying, that I implemented to my music still, you know what I'm saying? So we both learned from each other. But
how do you think that affected you? Because I know it seemed like it was a big deal that you stay true to who you are, and making sure that you came out, like you said, without attachments to expectations, really.
Yeah.
So how do you think that affected you, that your sounds were super similar and people not knowing you as much as they know him? How do you feel like it affected, your process?
A lot, because I felt like the single that we dropped for my album, it wasn't who I am, like, as a person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did write the song, you know what I'm saying? But I wrote the song like maybe 4 or 5 years before I got signed. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine I was
that on it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was just like,
So you can imagine I was
strategically they made you drop that as a single because they knew at that time that record,
you weren't
your
like
voice
him.
or just your way of approaching music at the time was very different from what you are now. And then what you are now, Trey Songz is utilizing, right, for his project. So he wanted your single to sound.
I feel like it's a big conflict of interest.
It is a conflict of interest.
I mean, because I never really wanted to come out with that single. Like, I wanted to do Complicated first, because it kind of is like, a lovey song, you know what I'm saying? Less like
a ballad.
Yeah, like One Time is cool, like it's cool, but it's like one of those records, like if you're not in that space, you're not gonna like what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I feel like Complicated is just a universal like record, bro.
So who made the decision to drop on it instead of Complicated?
The label. It was just a label decision. Like, I sat at the table and I voiced my opinion, like, no, let's do Complicated because this is why XYZ.
Do you feel like it wasn't dropped because it sounded a little bit like Trey record?
It sounded like some shit Trey will sing.
I don't even think like Trey could hit those notes. I'm not even like, no disrespect, but like that's like that key is so high, like you know what I'm saying, like,
right?
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean,
do you think it might be because it sounded better than Trey?
Maybe that's the case. I mean, if he couldn't hit the notes, maybe you have something that he didn't have, and he didn't want to compromise.
I'm not saying that. Like,
okay.
I don't think that me and him have, like, we do have similar sounds, but I feel like my voice is totally different than his. Like, he got like more of a rasp to his voice. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And then like I don't know. Mine is like more just like.
Sometimes it's like, but when you sing it in a certain like cadence, it can sound similar to ear, if that makes sense.
But you can imagine like two singers and songwriters being together for like 2-3 years, like
right, and eventually it's like being married, right?
Right, exactly. You might start talking like your husband, right?
Yeah, right.
Using his lingo, like
right. So, yeah. Okay, so you're signed. You know what I mean? You're on the map. You're signed. The tour started by now? The tour's already started or no?
Nah. So wait, you said I was signed. Where we at right now?
So yeah, so you pretty much you signed to him. So you agreed to the deal. He talked to you, agreed to the deal.
Yeah, agreed to the deal.
You signed. And then when do we go on tour?
And then so we put A3 out. Yep. We put Anticipation out. Mm-hmm. And that was like the biggest I guess response that I've ever gotten from people, because I mean I've never put a mixtape out or a song out at that scale before. Right. So once I seen the response that I was getting from the people, I was like, damn, like they actually rock with me, because it could have went either way. It could have went, they don't like you because why are you even on this tape? That a series that Trey started, you know what I'm saying? But they actually embraced me, and it was love, like, you know what I'm saying? So after that, like after we saw the response, that's kind of when the tour was like, I guess, talked about or like put on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So Anticipation 3, 70% of that album sounds like a Mike Angel project. And that's a big cosign, bro. For an artist of his magnitude to use 70% of your work and say, this is my next project that I'm going to release. Yeah. What does that do to you? When that happened, when you see the reaction, you see how much confidence he has in your ability as a songwriter.
I was shook. I was like shocked too. Like, what? Like, damn. Because at that time, I was like, bro, nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like on the internet. Like, but like it was a big shock for me, because he could literally get songs from any person.
Right, you know any major person, right.
He could go to Rico Love, or, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not going to say like it mess with my ego, I mean, but it kind of did in a little bit, and like it made me think like, damn, like
in a good way, give you some confidence,
in a positive way,
right? You know what I mean? Like, confidence. Now let's talk about what everybody want to know. So, did you get paid for this though? Like, what when you do something in that magnitude, like how does that work out? Like, do you guys business wise? You know what I'm saying? Because we've been hearing like. The internet has literally been going crazy like over the last couple of months. Like a lot of people have been releasing information from people that are songwriters, people that, you know, do producers, and saying like they only get paid this much. And they, you know what I'm saying? For major hit, like selling millions of records, and they only getting thousands of dollars for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you know, so is there truth to that? How did that work out for you?
Well, I can say like I signed a publishing deal too, like when I was with him. So it was a publishing deal and a artist agreement, but for A3, like the songs that I wrote with him, like I didn't get no upfront payment like from that, and also the songs aren't on platforms, on streaming platforms, so I'm not getting like
you're not getting residual
from it. It's just living on YouTube and like that Piff or something like that. So for that mixtape, no, I didn't get paid for it, but of course, like for other songs like Games We Play and GLA, like the one I did recently for him, like those are registered under my company, you know what I'm saying, and under my name, so I'm getting paid for those, you know what I'm saying? But like I didn't have any management or any big bro in the game telling me what I could do, because what I would have done if I had the chance, like once I put out A3 or I put out Never Enough with Trey, I could go shopping for a deal, like looking for the best deal possible, because I would have the interest of whoever looking at me because I have this artist on my song.
So was Moon not your manager at this time?
I wouldn't say he was my manager. He was just more of like a big bro, like guiding me through it. Like he was never really on
So he
paper.
Was never your manager on paper?
Not on paper.
So you signing these deals with no management. You reviewing the contracts, you making the executive decision.
Of course lawyers too, but at that time I wasn't.
What lawyers? Your lawyers?
See, I wasn't educated. Okay. I wasn't educated on that fact. Like I was using lawyers from like 300, like
right,
same
they're
label.
lawyers,
like,
right?
so you know
So
they
they're
have
looking out
their
for their
interests,
best,
right?
right.
They have their
Right.
best interests, but like I wasn't putting two and two together because I'm like, okay, Trey's my brother, like he ain't gonna put me on no fucked up deal or no weird ass contract.
What made you feel that way about Trey? Like, how did you get so comfortable saying
bro,
that's my bro?
I've stayed at his house, like not just his house, like in LA. I'm talking about like his mom's crib, like
Right.
spent Christmas with them, like shit like that. Like people don't do that to people that they don't fuck with. Like I don't bring people to my house if I don't fuck with you. Like
Right.
you ain't never gonna see my crib. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
maybe I was just thinking of it in the fact of that, like of how I would carry it. You know what I'm saying? Not like looking at it as a business.
So hindsight now, do you feel like you made the right decision by thinking that?
Yeah.
So you feel like the deal you got was the best that you could have gotten?
Well, no, it's not the best that I could have got, but I feel like at the time of my situation, like it was a good deal for me. Like, because if I wasn't going to take that deal, what other deal was it? It was no other deal on the table for me. But that catapulted me to put out like a really great R&B album. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's when More Notes came out.
No, N2S.
N2S was first, and then More Notes was after. Yeah. Okay, so when N2S comes out,
because N2S was that actually dropped in 2017?
Yeah.
And that's 300, right? We was on the 300.
That dropped after we went on tour. So like we ended up.
So you went on tour. So now let's get to the tour.
26
tours on the table. You guys are on tour. You're going from city to city.
Yeah.
Performing. What songs are you performing?
I was performing like 3 songs off of the mixtape. Nobody knew what the songs were. Like nobody knew these songs. Like of course because they weren't out.
Right.
But I was singing them every night, and people had the craziest reactions. Like damn, you know. So
what songs were these?
It was Complicated. Complicated. Damn, I want to say Anxious. It was 2 other ones. I can't think of them off the top of my head which ones were the songs. You know what I'm saying? But
which is crazy because you performed it for months.
Yeah, right. But it was definitely Complicated was one of them that I would get the craziest reaction from. You know. But yeah.
Okay, so you're on tour. You're in every city. Like life is good.
How many cities you hit?
Yeah,
how many? 26 cities.
26 cities.
Wow.
Okay, great. And so I'm assuming you're getting paid for tour.
No.
Come on, son. No. Wait a minute. So you went on tour, 26 tour, and you did not get paid for it.
Nah.
But were they at least accommodating you?
Yeah. Because I was, like I said.
So was that the stipulation behind it?
No. So I was signed to the label. So the label was like my budget for traveling. You know what I'm saying? Like they got the bus for me. They got everything that I needed, like food, whatever, clothes, all this stuff.
But they did not give you any.
But when it comes to when it came to like physical money, I didn't get.
So did your personal life change, or are you still like you at that point you quit Amazon?
Yeah.
You on tour now?
Yeah, because I had to quit because
because you're gonna be gone.
Well, yeah, they were sending me to LA for me to practice and stuff like that. So there was no way I could have.
So where are you living now? Like, what are your living conditions like?
What did you went to LA?
I mean, basically staying at Trey's crib.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, at least he let you stay there. I mean,
so what was that experience like, being so close to Trey Songz and being a fly on the wall and watching?
It was cool. I mean, like I learned a lot. Like as far as music goes, like recording.
What's a night like?
Techniques.
A weekend at like a Trey's crib, bro. Come on, man. Like
weekend, a lot of drinking. Shit, a lot of drinking. Hella girls.
Well, I can't tell because listen, we took you to the club when we was in Atlanta and you was tapped out.
Yeah, you tapped out.
you
out there, you was tapped.
You can't hang.
I don't be drinking too much no
right.
more, but I definitely smoke. But yeah, bro, like 26 cities. It was wild, bro. It was like.
What's the wildest shit you experienced in this tour, bro?
Damn, the wildest shit. It's hard.
That's hard.
Is it that many wild nights out there?
No, it's like I'm trying to really think of something wild that happened that was like that left me like, oh my god.
Who else was on this tour with you guys?
It was me, Trey, and then there's this other artist named Justine.
Okay.
Yeah, Darcin. She's really amazing as far as like singing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So what's the wildest shit you seen, bro?
The wildest shit? You put me on the spot, bro. I gotta really think about that. Let me come back to that question because I gotta think about it.
I see you definitely have media training. I can tell that. I can tell you that much.
So let me come back to that.
Yeah.
Let me come back to that one, bro.
So 26 city tour. What city did you feel like gave you the best reaction when you were on stage?
The best reaction. Probably 2 cities. It was Detroit and Philadelphia.
I knew he was gonna say that. Cause I seen an interview that he did.
Yeah,
and I think it was 2 separate interviews that he mentioned both of those cities. So I wanted to see if he was like lying on those interviews, but he was telling the truth. It was Detroit and Philly.
It stack on this one. That's what's up.
Like, Detroit was crazy. It was because it was the first show, and then I don't think nobody knew what I looked like. Like, of course they knew my voice and stuff like that, but we didn't really put much pictures out of me at that time. So like when I first came out, it was like shocked. It was lit. Detroit, nice. And then Philly was just turned up. It was a lot of people. Like the venue was really big too. So, yeah.
What's that feeling like being on stage and getting that admiration and
priceless, bro? Like,
is it worth all the bullshit?
Yeah, it's what you work your whole career for. Like to have people singing your words, and you don't have to do much singing. They're just singing the hook and the verse for you.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah, it's priceless though. It's crazy.
So
you go on this tour where you're not making any money, and I'm mad about that. But you get, but they're taking care of you. Tour's over. What now? Where are we at now? This once the tour's over.
Tour. Shit. Life.
So do you go back to Virginia? I mean, to 804?
So I went back to Virginia. I think I was living with my sister at the time. And I went back to Virginia, and they were trying to, push my artist stuff, put me on different shows and different TV commercials, Revolt, this and that. I mean, not TV commercial, but TV shows, should I say. And I was kind of, broken, you know what I'm saying, from, the tour. Because, I had left everything and then went on tour. So you can imagine, bills don't stop when you're on tour. You still have bills.
So that's what I was about to say. So what did you knowing? How long was it? How many months was the tour?
It was 3-4 months.
Okay,
and
so
then
you went
before that, we had 3 or 4 months of us practicing
right?
And working.
So for 6 months, you were out of your crib.
Pretty much gone out of your crib. Yeah. So did you think about that when you decided to say, "Fuck, I'm going on tour"? Even though you knew you weren't getting paid.
Honestly, I didn't know I wasn't going to get paid.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
How the fuck you?
How did you know? When did you find out?
It was because we had we basically had a discussion, me and the team. And when I say the team, I mean Moo, Trey. We had a discussion of what I was going to get paid every venue. So in the back of my mind, I'm going to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm so I'm not really tripping about the money I'm spending, about really anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm well, I'm gonna get paid after this tour, so fuck it, I'll buy that for you, or I'll do this, or I'll do that,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of promises were being made.
Yeah. So after the tour, I got home and it was kind of the same shit. We were just running around. I would go to his crib, we would write songs, but we wasn't talking about how I was gonna get paid or how I was gonna make more money.
So for 6 months, you didn't see a dollar.
I didn't see
Woo! Let me pour a drink on.
Bro,
that
I seen.
Oh God!
All right, so let me take that back. It wasn't for 6 months. I didn't see a dollar, but
okay.
It was.
Please.
I probably seen maybe a couple thousand because I did a few walkthroughs.
And that was just you independently organizing your own walkthrough, or the label did it for you?
Well, me and Moo kind of would organize that, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the promoter, I would know certain promoters in DC or wherever we go, and they would be yo, this club wants you to pull up, but make sure you bring Trey, and we'll throw you a couple bands or whatever, blah blah. So I would do little stuff like that, but it was not enough for me to.
Yeah, I was about to say. So that would be a contingent in you bringing Trey, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, sometimes he wouldn't even come. I just say I would.
Yeah, once I got the money, it doesn't matter. But okay, so you come back and it's like real life.
Hold on,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So pretty much, the tour's over. You just went on a crazy 26 city tour, performing in front of thousands of people, the top of the top, and you get back home and life is lifing at this point. Your bills are put, you know what I mean?
Yeah, life is really like, it's crazy. You can imagine like being like, imagine going to jail for like 6 months and then coming back. Like,
right, that's a bad comparison.
No, listen, like jail. I wouldn't say jail and tour are the same. I'm just saying like, your focus is like just the tour and like being the best you can be. Like not like real life shit. You feel me?
But I mean, a 26 city tour, you hanging out with Trey, I'm sure you posting on social media, your career should be moving in a different direction. By the time you come home, the MIKEXANGEL that was home 6 months ago to the MIKEXANGEL that come back from tour, what's the difference between those two MIKEXANGELs?
Not having like a proper team, you know what I'm saying? And management. Like when I got back home, like, or even when I was on the road, like it would have been smart for me to just try to do walkthroughs at every city we went to. Like,
how come no one ever even mentioned?
Yeah, why didn't anybody tell you?
Because I'm sure they know that's the protocol.
Bro, I don't know. I have no clue. You know what I'm saying?
That's like, crazy.
And I was a new artist, bro. Like, so you would think like those jewels would
I mean, keep it real. Like, were you just like kind of even just think about? I'm just thinking about the caliber of people you're around. What's going on? Right. Like, you a little bit shook too to just kind of be like, what should I do? Yeah, should I not?
And I was isolated. I didn't have a homie or my brother beside me. Everybody that was beside me was his people.
But you're not taking notes at this point in your career, watching how people move. You know what I'm saying? Like the quality of the anarchy around Trey Songz.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not paying attention.
But like basically every day was a new show. You know what I'm saying? So like I think we had maybe like a couple of breaks where it'd be like 2 days where we not doing nothing. And then we do a show, but my focus was sounding the best I could on that stage every night. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really peeping like the extras, like, oh, he's moving with this person, he's doing that, he's showing up at this place. Like, my focus was just sounding the best I could. So that's like, what they told me to focus on.
That's what I'm saying. Like hindsight, they told you to focus on that. That sounds So I'm just saying, hindsight now, do you wish that you would have, paid more attention to that, networked a little bit more, kind of built relationships?
I just probably wish I would have brought my brother with me or somebody like that had another pair of eyes, you know what I'm saying? Like that could kind of like keep me like on my P's and Q's and shit.
Right.
So what was happening to you that was distracting you from being on your P's and Q's aside from just focusing on writing and singing?
I guess, like I said, just being ready for 5,000 people. Like 5,000
I think that you were like super focused on what's at hand.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Like we have like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people outside, like ready for you to sing and shit. Like my thought is that like the next city, like damn, I need to make sure my voice is straight. Like it would be certain times where they would actually go out after the show and go party, and I wouldn't, because I'm like, yo, I want to make sure my voice is like 100. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So you definitely needed a manager.
Yeah, I know.
So you navigated virtually your entire career without management. Yeah, is that what it sounds? It sounds like that's what the case is.
Basically, but management could be a gift and a curse. You feel me? So like,
but you roll the dice in everything you do. If you cross the street, it's a 50-50 chance that you might get hit by a car. Now, you know what I'm saying? So everything is a roll of a dice. So looking at your situation, these independent artists right now coming up, they, dreaming of an opportunity like yours. What's your advice to them?
Have a mentor, somebody that like you could trust, you know what I'm saying, and talk to about, like somebody that's already been through the shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had that, you know what I'm saying, but I kind of strayed away from it once I got with Trey. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like strayed away from my mentorship, bro, and Trey was my mentor, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't looking at it as a business. I was looking at it like, oh, we bros, like, he gonna look out, like, we gonna be good, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like that was by design?
What?
Just the whole situation. Because, like, for me, you telling this story, I kind of felt like, in a low-key way, like you were kind of set up. They gave you everything you wanted, the glitz and glam, gave it to you in front of you, flashed it. Everybody's acting like, yo, you're bro this. Hey, do this, do that. And then you're never thinking about the business.
Yeah.
In definitely, a sense. You see what I'm saying?
And then anytime when I do bring it up or try to bring it up, it's not the time. Like, it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, leave that shit alone right now.
Right.
Like,
so, and I feel like a lot of artists, like,
I didn't have a barrier, like, around me. Like, somebody being like, oh, Mike don't want to talk right now. Or Mike, like, somebody talking for me, basically. I needed that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, so you got real close to Trey, right? To the point where you're calling him bro.
He's calling me bro, too.
He's calling you bro. Yeah. All right, this is public information now, right? There is information out there that a situation occurred between you and Trey, right? There was maybe a disagreement. Like, what happened that caused you guys to part ways?
Well, actually, word on the street, you guys got in a physical fight.
That's what.
I saw it on one of your interviews.
It's on the interview.
Nah, we got into like little scuffles, but it was never nothing like that. Like, we got into scuffles in the tour, but it was just be
on tour.
Yeah, that was on some like
a scuffle.
I look at it
up north. That means something else. So, what's a scuffle, bro?
Like, just some pushing and some shoving, drinks knocked over.
What was it about? What was it about?
It was some petty shit. It was nothing crazy. It was like, I think one time, we were in Chicago, and we were all drunk, like drunk as a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And we were at the House of Blues, and I said something about their old group. They had an old group called the Illyards or some shit. I don't know. I forget what the name of the group is, but I said something about the group, and they kind of got offended by that shit. And
who's they?
Moo and Trey.
Okay.
So yeah, they hopped up on me. Like, they started choking me out, doing crazy shit. We knocking shit over, right? We knocking chairs and
what
models and tequila, all that shit over.
That's
right?
some drug shit.
Look,
okay.
So Moo gets on top of me, and he's like kind of like choking me, bro, and I like push him off me, and he ends up tearing his ACL.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so for the whole
this nigga said over some petty shit. Niggas are tearing ACLs. That's
right,
that's a fight.
That's fights, nigga. There ain't no scuffle, bro. Stop.
But look, like
that's a fight.
He ended up having to like walk around with crutches for the rest of the tour. That was like the worst shit, because I felt like I had did that shit to him. Like, damn,
he was choking you out. What the fuck?
Self-defense.
What you mean? He was choking you out, Mike. Yeah. Something had to happen.
Okay, so then after that incident, where's your relationship with the label and with Trey? Like, how you guys?
Oh, everything was still good. Like, you talking about?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, they came back. He said they came back home, but life is life, and
no,
you know
we were on tour when that happened. That's that current situation. But when I got back, you said, how was my relationship with them after that?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Once you came back, clearly you're at home. So, and this is just me, just thinking of how I know that I would feel in this situation. I come back home, my bills are piled up, I can't pay for shit.
You still chasing
after them. Yeah. So it's like, damn, I almost have to go get another job, right? To make sure. So did you actually go get a job? No. So you didn't. So you just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to wing it.
Yeah.
Were you able to use what you did on tour and being with Trey? Were you able to use it to your advantage to make money at this time once you came back?
Nah, I was doing other illegal stuff, illegal things.
But why didn't you? Did you not think about that? Like, how you can benefit from using, like, yo, I've been with Trey Songz, I've been on tour. Like, you didn't think about that?
Yeah, but like our relationship, like I said, was kind of like falling apart. Like, I'm
saying it outside of him, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, to use what you went on tour with him to create avenues for you to make money outside of using him and his people. Yeah, and technically you're still signed to the label at this point, right?
Yeah, but it just felt like everybody that I had met and had connections with, I met through him. So it was like, it just felt like I was basically a clean slate again. Like, if I'm out here by myself, like, I'm basically running around Dolo, like, meeting these people again, like, as if I never met them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, I guess, lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know which way to go. Did you feel used at any point? Definitely used, because the communication fell off too. It wasn't like it was like a gradual thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like tour happened, and then like he would start picking up the phone. Then
Did you ever get paid, bro?
For what? For tour?
No, he already said he did. Yeah, he did.
At all? Like, what about the previous to going on tour for writing the records in anticipation and everything else?
No, he said he didn't. Yeah, he didn't get that for that either. Yeah. So,
but I mean, of course, I got an initial advance, like to get signed to a label. But you know, an advance is not your money.
It's not your money. Yeah, you got to pay it back.
Yeah.
Right.
So you left the label in the red.
Kind of, sort of.
And do you feel black?
So how do we? I'm gonna say, but how do we leave the label? So once you guys, you said the communication started dropping off.
Yeah. Okay. So the communication kind of dropped off, which kind of caused me to feel like a certain way. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, I kind of felt like I was used. Like, all right, like you don't need me until like maybe the mixtape comes out or like the album or whatever. So, boom, I kind of felt away, and I said something to one of the homies about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
venting.
Basically venting about me not getting paid. You feel me?
Right. What you should.
And that person went back and then told him like that I said all this crazy shit. Like, you know, he put extras on it too. So that kind of like that really fucked up the relationship. Cause and then like when me and him, I guess, tried to talk about it, like he was like, oh no, he already had these things in his head. Like I had said all of this crazy shit. So it was like basically over at that point. You feel me? And then, you know, me and Moo fell out too. Because, of course, like, if I'm not cool with Trey, then I can't be cool with Moo either. So, me and him fell out. And then they got me a ticket to come to New York to talk to the label. And the label was just like, yo, we kind of washing our hands with you. Like, you know, if you can't be on board with Trey, then you can't be on board with us, blah, blah. Yeah, it was kind of like a fuck you, basically. Like, so I was like.
So pretty much, do you feel like Trey and his team pretty much put that bug in the label's ear and then they just said, fuck it?
I have no clue. Like, I haven't really thought that far about it. Nah. Because, I mean, people still love me, like, online. Like, I still get love.
Your fans are your fans, but I'm talking about just blackballing the industry.
Oh, in the industry, I made maybe, like, by, like, 300. But, like, they're not even, like, a label anymore, I don't think.
Wow. So, pretty much, once that situation happened, you came to New York, and then the label situation was done.
Yeah. It was kind of like they was basically letting me go because
Trey wasn't attached to the situation anymore.
Yeah, because the relationship wasn't as strong as it was anymore.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And even with all the talent, like,
right.
You know what I mean? You're talented. You've been doing all this shit. You've written, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just like I got videos of them saying, like, yeah, we behind him 100%. Like, no matter what happens, like, this our brother. Like, so how I feel is, like, whenever I fall out with my brother, if I argue with my brother, we always come back, like, literally the next day or, like, even hours later. Like, you know, I ain't mean that shit, bro. Like, this and that, da.
Look, but don't we wish like the world was so genuine as him?
But I truthfully feel like it was genuine from the beginning.
Right.
Like, I respect him, and I'm like happy for, like, what he did for my career and stuff. But, like, I don't feel like it was genuine. Like,
absolutely.
I don't think
I can agree with you. I'm just saying, just from listening to your story, it just seems like, you know, what happens to a lot of artists. Like I said, they flash, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The shiny thing in front of your face. They give you opportunities when you don't have any. Mm-hmm. And then when that well dries up, then it's like, that's why it's like super important. That's why I was asking you, like, hindsight, do you wish you would have made more connections and network, even outside of his circle? Because I'm sure that you were around a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that you could have.
But, like, network with who? His people? Like,
no, I'm just saying, even going to these parties outside of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people around. I think that, you know, maybe your focus was kind of just on, like, yo, this is a family, you know what I'm saying? And we're all together. But there was probably so many other people in the room that, you know, that were outside of him that could have later been assets to, you know what I mean?
Well, I feel like once that situation happened where, like, the cat was out the bag that I had said that, like.
You said what? What did you say? Because you keep saying said what? What did you say?
Right? Yeah, I just said that I didn't get paid for the tour. Like, the person asked me whether or not I got paid for the tour and some other stuff.
So he asked you that and then went back and told on you? You're such a snitch.
Yeah. And,
who did it? Who said it? Tell us.
I'm not gonna give him no promotion.
But yeah, but so he pretty much snitched.
Yeah, and yeah, that was that. And then once that happened, I felt like everybody was looking at me side eye, like everybody, like all the people that I had met at the radio, all the people that I had met, you know, during the tour. Like I just felt like everybody was just looking at me like side eye. You feel me? So
right.
I was just like, fuck it, I'm about to go back in my hole and write songs again.
So at this point, once this situation happened with you and Trey and the label, was nothing to something, was that already completed? Like it was already completed. So you were getting ready to like drop it. Had you already dropped it?
Wait, you said, was it already completed when?
Once the label brought you to New York.
Oh, yeah. So once the label brought me to New York, I had like all of the songs except for maybe like 2. Right. So, and that's like another thing, like when I look back at it, I'm kind of like upset about, because I'm like, man, like if I had like an artist, right? And like I was trying to groom them to be like better than me, I would be like, I wouldn't sign him to the first deal. I would wait. I would try to like get his buzz up and his, his
fan base and
yeah, like
followers. Yeah,
get the people almost like wanting to fight over you. You know?
Right.
Getting the labels wanting to fight over you because he has that type of power. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Start like a bidding war.
Yeah. Start a bidding war instead of like just signing to the first deal, which was under him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
do you feel like you was like a little naive though in the situation?
I was 23.
Right.
Like I didn't really know.
And I only say that to say that, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that were your age at the time, like you be thinking that you know everything. You don't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know I ain't know nothing.
No, I'm just saying.
I know I ain't know shit about
it. But we run across a lot of kids and a lot of artists that young artists that just think that, I know the music biz, and then they get into a situation with you.
I know my value. I know this. I know that. And then
you know what I'm saying? And then you get a position with, somebody top co-signing you and being around you and doing all these things, and you just easily get caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like
and the issue was I didn't have anybody around me that I started this shit with. Right. Like I was just
kind of by yourself.
Yeah, cultivated. I mean, whatever the word is.
Elevated.
Yeah, elevated, whatever.
Shout out to Vakila.
You're right. I'm kind of fucked up right now. But into like his whole circle, you know what I'm saying? Right. So anybody I would be like, hey, I don't feel.
They're like, today. No, Trey's fine. It's fine.
Like, right. Yeah. It's like I'm talking to his people basically. So
right.
Yeah, I think that was a big issue too.
What's the craziest shit you've seen on tour, bro?
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's back to this. He's not gonna let it go.
Man. Oh, the craziest shit.
You a man of your word, you said. So you'll get back to me later. This is later.
Damn, son.
Come on, bro.
What's the craziest shit I seen? Like what aspect though? Like
what would you consider the?
Are you talking like groupie wise?
Yeah, like you talking about like that?
What would you consider the craziest thing you've seen?
The craziest shit that I saw, right, is we was on a bus. And this was after the show. We got like maybe 30 bitches on the bus. Oh, women on the bus.
You want to get canceled?
Vakila kicking in.
We got 30 women on the bus. And like, we're all kicking it just like how we are right now, right? Drinking, talking. Somebody, we just hear boom, boom, boom. Somebody bangs on the tour bus door. And it's an old man. He's like, yo, my daughter's in there. And if my daughter doesn't come out in 30 minutes, I'm getting the cops. I'm blowing this shit up. Like, just going crazy. Like, just like, that was probably the craziest shit because he was kicking the door, the tour bus and shit. I don't know. I have no clue.
Did anybody get off the bus?
Not that I remember. But I just remember the nigga was going crazy. Like, he was kicking the bus. I was like, bro, we gonna get shot up, bro. Like,
I'm weak.
By this old
So pretty much now that we've got XL's craziest thing that happened on tour, so pretty much Nothing is Something is pretty much almost done. You almost had two singles left that you needed to put on there, and so you got dropped from the label. And then what? So what do you do? Do you continue on with putting it out or
no? So we released Nothing is Something, right?
So you actually put it out.
We already had put it out. Like, let's say the tour was done. At the end of the tour, we put Into Us out. So let's just say that maybe for a month or two, I'm doing.
So they still put it out even though there was tension?
Look, it wasn't tension until like after the tour, like maybe months after the tour.
Months after the tour.
But we put the project out in June.
Right.
So the tour was still going on in June. But like maybe like a month or two I did like radio runs, and then our relationship started to kind of like once I went back home to Virginia, that's when our relationship kind of started to fall off. You know what I'm saying?
And now it's already out.
What, that we not cool?
No, nothing to something. Yeah, it's already out.
Yeah.
So is it like, so are you continuing to push for it on your own?
No, because we were supposed to do more videos to it, but we just never got to it. Like once like the whole like relationship started to fold and shit, like they just washed their hands with my whole shit.
But you were able to take everything with you, apparently. Like your songs.
Yeah. I mean,
you owned them. They were yours. I mean, some people go into this situation, they don't even get to take that with them.
I mean, that Into Us is still theirs. Like, still 300s. You know what I'm saying? I don't own that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much they own that record. Now, and I'm going to ask you that because wasn't Anxious on Nothing to Something?
Yeah.
So now...
It was on A3 too. So you put it on A3. It was like the last song on A3, and they did that like to, I guess, get like some
intro
people talking. Yeah,
right.
Like,
Intro. Okay.
Just so they could like pre my album, I guess, you know.
Right. Which makes sense at the time.
So we put that song out, and then wait, what was the question again?
So what I was saying was that I saw that Anxious was on Nothing to Something.
Yeah.
So being that Anxious was on that, and now is this a re-release? Because you just kind of dropped it a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Anxious. So it was a re-release. So with that being said, do they still own that, or like how does that work?
That's a good question. I mean, I just look at it as they probably own the whole. If they own Into Us, then I'm pretty sure they own that too. Yeah.
So why re-release it? I mean, it's a dope record.
Why release it?
They don't own the visual. You can make a visual.
Yeah, I can make a visual, but I'm talking about like
the audio.
Yeah, like if I wanted to take the audio and I guess
get paid off of it.
Yeah, like
put it on platforms.
Yeah, if I want to put it on platforms on my own, I wouldn't be able to do that because they still own that. Yeah.
Label.
Okay. And so with that, was that something? So what I'm really trying to understand is of what your deal was with them, because at this point you haven't really got paid for anything, and you've been doing hella work. Yeah. You haven't really been getting paid for anything. So with that being said, like once that come out, so do you own? Because I know that they own the actual album, but do you get any royalties from that? Like how does that work?
Well, like y'all say that I put in work, which I agree, but like from their end, like they didn't feel like I put in enough work. Like they were like, "Yo, you cost us this amount of money. Like you haven't." So you can only imagine. Like I'm getting told like I'm not doing enough, but then on the outside, people are like, "Yo, you're killing it. Like you're doing XYZ." You know what I'm saying?
I guess that's where like management will come into play, right? Yeah. Because technically, like of course they're gonna say that shit. They don't want to pay you for what you've done. You know what I'm saying? Like of course.
I think like after
you
we had our little,
if 70% of Anticipation 3, which is a classic record album, let's be for real, it's a classic.
But if you look at it, it's still not on platforms. Why?
It doesn't have to be on platforms.
It is on. It's on iTunes.
No, it's not.
I listened to it on iTunes.
No, you didn't. You listened to Anticipation 2.
No, Anticipation 3 is
on
not.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
It's not on platforms.
So Anticipation 3, what I'm saying is, even with it not being on platforms, it is still a classic album. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if you wrote 70% of it, whether you guys chose or not to put it on platforms has nothing to do with the work that you put in.
Right.
Technically, like if we're,
he got paid already. He got that advance.
He did not get paid for that
advance.
Well,
no, the advance was for him signing, for him to be an artist. That had nothing to do with him writing that records. Yeah. So technically, no, it's not the same. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like you did that.
She's right.
I'm telling you, you've done all of those things, and then you go on tour. Okay, they pay for your lodging, whatever. Hotels. Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Okay, your hotel's lodging. That's typical. You know what I'm saying? This is your artist. You signed them. You should be paying for that. But to get no physical money from that, I feel like y'all got away with murder. Like, no bullshit.
Then with me to, like, when I was questioning it, they're like, yo, well, we got your travel. That was the travel budget, basically, was the answer that they gave me.
Okay, so what about the other hits that you wrote for Trey, though? That's what I'm saying, because you have Never, which is a crazy record. You have what's the joint that you did on no, you've done quite a few.
Yeah, on a couple mixtapes.
Exactly, quite a few. So what I'm saying is, from all of those, you get no residuals from that.
Egg.
That's insane.
Goose egg.
That's what I'm saying. That's insane.
But that's like the industry, though, you know, like not even just. I
feel like that's when you're not. You have to be educated on what you're getting into. It's super important, because like literally your story is really about, like, if you had somebody in your corner to be able to, like you said, be your eyes and ears, be able to stand up for you in meetings and do, you know what I mean? A lot of this shit would not have happened. You would have got something out of it. I feel like you getting nothing is like, that's bullshit. Like if Dame Dash was like my man. Right. Oh yeah, you would have got everything. Yeah, right. Everything. Okay. So pretty much once all of that situation happens, you know what I mean? You let go from the label. You still put it out. And I pretty much, like, I mean, I looked for a lot of, you know, just interviews, anything you do. You kind of went quiet after that. So where were you at when that, you know what I mean, when all of that, technically you went from the top and then you kind of came down from that. Like, what mind frame did that have you in? Where were you at once all this happened?
I was definitely, like, depressed for a little while, just because, like, you know, my financial situation wasn't where I wanted it to be. But on the outside, it was different, you know? Like, I was showing, like, well, it looked like, you know, I had made it in other people's eyes, you know? But, you know, I was depressed for a little bit, but like in those years, I was really just working on, like I said, my writing and stuff like that, and trying to get better, like figuring out how I could get better. And I probably didn't do any shows that year. Just like I said, worked on music.
You know, worked on music. One thing I respect about you, bro, is that you never went on the internet and bashed anybody.
Right.
You never down talked anybody
for clickbait. Yeah,
you took this shit to the chin, and you moved on.
Yeah, because I know I'm not the only person that, you know what I'm saying, this is affected. Like,
so now, of course, due to public, you know, the public out there, we realizing a few things about, you know, the situation that's happening with Trey. So, do you think, like, where, like, how would you approach what's happening to him as an artist now, and the backlash he's getting, and the, you know, the negative publicity? Is that something you witnessed when you was around him? Is that something? Are you glad that you walked away from that camp, or where you at?
Yeah, because I mean, the first taste of me being on, like, the Shade Room and, like, being on like Baller Alert and stuff like that was the Keke Palmer situation,
right?
You know, and like my name was being brought up in it, but I had nothing to do with it. Only reason why my name was being brought up was because I mentioned her name in the song, you know? So, I mean, I'm kind of glad that, like, I got away from that craziness of it all, because, like, I'm not really even that type of dude. Like,
right.
I don't be around, like, the crazy shit. You feel me? But, yeah, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at right now. Like, I'm on my independent grind, like, putting out music at my own pace, like not somebody else telling me when to drop it, what song to drop, what words to say. You know what I'm saying? So
how restricted were you as an artist, as a signed artist? Just to let these guys know that are aspiring to one day get to a label, get to that position that you was in. Like, what are the restrictions that they put on you guys?
Like, you can't put music out when you want to. You know what I'm saying?
It has to be cleared.
It has to be cleared for sure. And then, like,
what about appearances? What about you know, doing your own events, your own shows? Like,
yeah, you can do as much events as you want.
Okay,
like, you can do any. Well, in my deal, I could do any type of events I want. It's just when it comes to dropping music and stuff like that, like, they want full control on that. You know, like, and even the single, like, you're not gonna pick your own single. It's not happening. Like, and then they get to the point where sometimes they even give you beats from the people that are under the umbrella, you know what I'm saying, under the label. Like they may give you producers from that camp, you know what I'm saying, only. But I just like the freedom, bro, of being like independent, being able to work with who I want to. The only issue is like features, is getting features and stuff like that clear. Because I'll do like a feature with like an artist that may be on like a label like Atlantic or whatever, but we can't put the song out unless they clear it over at Atlantic first, you know? That's really why I don't do a lot of features and shit. Like I have features with people that.
So even to this day, you're still bounded to your contract?
No, I'm talking about with others. Like let's just say like you're signed to Atlantic, right? And we do a song in the studio. I can't just go put the song out because your label.
Oh, okay.
has to
You clear it. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Woo.
So, is there an agenda with R&B music right now? Do you think? What's the agenda for R&B music? What are they trying to push out there right now? Because it doesn't sound like the R&B music we grew up listening to.
Damn, what's the agenda? Probably kill, murder.
Even on R&B.
There's a lot of toxic shit out there.
I mean, shit, bro. Like even the melodic shit is like that now. Like the shit that's like singy is like talking about like how many guns you got and shit like that. But I mean, I don't know if there's an agenda or not. But I mean, what do you think?
It certainly ain't the R&B music we grew up listening to. Like,
it's definitely
we're not listening to this is not the Tevin Campbells. This is not the, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like we're getting back to there though. I
mean,
like
women are dominating the charts in R&B, but it's not like the male scene.
Y'all don't think that Instagram affected like that love, like R&B stuff?
That's a good point. Social media did have an impact. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
I just feel like social media impacts
our whole life,
the whole entire
existence.
because whatever's going on there is like what the trend of life is. You know what I'm saying? And it literally changes every fucking 5 minutes, and it's so annoying.
And
like
right now, it's like not cool to be simping over a girl. Like back then, like begging for.
But I feel like like listen, like make it cool again.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't think it's cool.
So what space? What space is Mike Angel in?
But I feel like it's coming back though.
What space are you in this R&B thing? What role you playing?
I'm trying to get out of like being put in like that R&B box. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's wrong with it though?
Because no, I think it's a great thing. But like, I'm also capable of like doing like pop music or like. You know, and not just like the pop music that people think like forward to the floor, like not that. Like I'm talking about like Kate Renata vibes or just like different music, bro. Like I'm on to that, and it's like may not be all love songs, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm just into like I guess putting out what's missing, like what's been missing. You know what I'm saying?
Missing. Where?
I think that's a good thing
in the game.
What's missing where?
In the R&B space.
Yeah.
Or game, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, but you
game.
just say you don't want to be in that category. You want to focus more on venturing out into different.
Saying like I don't want to be boxed in as just an R&B
only
singer,
doing that.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to I guess show people like that I'm capable of more. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That's all.
Like Usher? Because Usher could play well in any genre of music.
Kind of like Usher. Kind of.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So, that's dope. Okay. Oh, my God.
You'll see.
I like that. I like that. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay. So, now.
And make sure y'all subscribe, man.
Yeah.
Nostalgia TV.
Yes. Make sure y'all subscribe. Actually, we are now and what are we? Nostalgia TV, NTV. You changed this to this crazy.
I'll change it. We'll put it on the
NTV Media. We'll have Diddy put it up there. It's so complicated. Anyways, so Mike, oh my God, like definitely appreciate you coming through. This is definitely, I feel like a lot of jewels will drop, a lot of moments, you know what I mean, for people to really, for those artists to really get an insight on, you know what I mean, like what that journey looks like.
And I normally don't do like podcasts and interviews.
Oh, I know. I didn't see anything.
Or just period. And I'm kind of drunk too. So you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I didn't see anything. I think I seen you do like two or three interviews.
Yeah,
like they're very, very scarce, and they were like from years ago.
And we needed this one, man. We needed to get your at least the it's called and I'm drunk once again. Shout out to Vakila.
See, it happened to me too. That same
but
thing.
it's just your mystique, right? Because a lot of people, you know, who's Mike Angel, and we've been getting that a lot, obviously, for promoting the event. That's, you know, the show that we're doing, that you headline, and a lot of people's like, yo, who's Mike Angel? Like, it's really a thing. Like, it's becoming an actual campaign that we can push forward in the future. But hopefully today,
I just have one last question for Mike. So, Mike, being that you are on your independent path again, and you are, you know, being able to move freely on, you know, putting out music, where, when, what, how, where do you see yourself going? Where is this going to be leading you to?
I see me like building my own like small niche like community, bro, like of people that just really rock with my music and the things that I put out, whether it be interviews or whatever. Because like I was telling Excel before, like I feel like now we're in a space where you don't have to have 1 million followers to make like good money in this, or, you know, do what you want to do.
I just feel like that's period
like,
with music. Like, artists have to define what they see as success in their head, right?
Yeah, facts.
So it's so easily that, you know what I mean? Like, you can easily, like you said, build a community that follow and watch everything you do, that purchase all of your, you know, your merchandise. Every time you drop a song, and you can live a good life, you know what I mean, off of that. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be in lights. You don't have to make millions of dollars.
Being like a big artist is like really stressful. Like, I'll be looking at like Doja Cat and other artists, and I'll be listening to what they say, and she's like, man, I'm tired of touring. Like, I don't want to do a show tomorrow, but I have to. You feel me? I don't want to ever get to that point where I got to do a show. I have to do this. I have to do this. Like, no, I don't want to be like that. That's like being a puppet.
So is the Illuminati real?
Oh my God.
Yes.
And we lock it out. We gonna kick it out. We gonna close it out with that.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But they not letting black people in that motherfucker.
And that's that, y'all, man. We have Mike.
I knew they won't let black people in there. I know it. I was like, ain't no way
they got the boule. They got the boule.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much, Mike. Oh, matter of fact, and tomorrow we look so forward to your performance. I personally have never seen you perform live, so I am super excited. I can't wait.
And where can they find you at, bro?
Yes, go ahead and put your
shit. MIKEXANGEL on everything across all socials, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, I really don't be on Twitter like that no more, but TikTok. If you want to email me, MikeAngel452@gmail.com. You can email me beats, whatever.
Oh, nice.
And he's ready to work, y'all. Make sure you book this brother, man.
Yes,
incredible talent. Let's get him out there.
So don't ask me anymore. Now you know who's Mike Angel.
We answer that. Hopefully we answer that and more.